So, look, it is a minor thing, and I certainly can hear the diest of diehard Blazer fan telling me this isn't that big of a deal. I don't know how we watch sports as fans. Like, my producer for my gambling show on Sunday nights, he is a diehard Jets fan, and he's all in. Jets are winning the AFC East next year. Dolphins have lost guys. The Bills trade Diggs. And I said, well, who has the best quarterback in the division? Who's won 4 straight division crowns? And what has your organization done to trust them? I keep saying that to him. He's like, oh, Rodgers and this. And okay, I sometimes in sports, you got to look at organizations and say, are they doing things that make me trust them?
Why should I trust you?
And I think this regime, fair, unfair, however you view it, I think the fair thing, in my opinion, is like they have not been very trustworthy. It was, we're going to go all in, and nope, we're not trading any draft picks, and we're going to trade Damian Lillard. And the messaging is off. Here was Joe Cronin asked by our good friend Bill Oram if the general manager and the coach, and the fact that a writer thought of this question, I think kind of speaks to the fact that it's even a thing, is why it was asked. Here's Bill Oram asking Joe, are you and Chauncey on the same page?
We're on the same page that on a given night, we want to be really, really competitive. And we want to keep taking steps in the right direction. I think that's an important part of this. A year like this one, it was hard when, we weren't as competitive on a cumulative one-loss record, from a cumulative one-loss standpoint as we wanted to be. But I think we're really proud of how we competed on most nights. Now, moving forward, our goal is to keep progressing. And the rate can get complicated. The rate matters on how much are our guys developing, how quickly is Scoot coming along, how quickly is Shaden coming along, what transactions do we make this offseason, what does that look like, how talented can we become in the near future. And we're going to have to recalibrate that after this offseason and get a more accurate viewpoint of, okay, what is this roster really capable of?
How's that for an answer?
It's a Galifianakis math gif there where I'm like, the cumulative win-loss
Well, let me
rate.
do a little translation. When he said rate, that equates to wins. Rate equals wins. Let me decipher that for everybody.
We're together on this on a night-to-night basis. We like to compete.
We love the way our effort was night in and night out. We had 2 60-point losses this season. First team in NBA history to ever do that.
We gave our rookie point guard the 2 worst plus-minuses in NBA history in one season.
Yes, we did.
Here's my only thing. Again, the NBA is a fickle mistress, okay? You hit the lottery and you get the right player. Fortunes and circumstances can change all of it. If you don't, this is where these small details of being just on the same page of how you feel about stuff, it matters a great deal. Joe yesterday said in one answer, a lot of ups, right? A lot of ups and downs. And then he cited the ups. Well, this player did this, and this player did that, and that player did that. And I think 1 or 2 questions later was asked by Danny, is it hard to take anything away data-wise because of the injuries and inconsistencies? And he said, yes, we have incomplete data.
So it's a lost season.
Did you calculate the ups, or is there not enough data? I'm just kind of confused, and I'm only bringing this up not to be a bummer, Brandon. I just want to ask the questions because a lot of people in the city, it's a done deal. This thing's going to get rebuilt right. And I'm just asking, are we confident with what we're hearing and seeing on a year-to-year basis with the organization the last 3 years?
Yeah, I mean, you know my answer to that. I don't trust anybody inside the organization. Joe was the only one that I gave the benefit of the doubt to, and part of that was because it was anybody other than Neil O'Shea, right? Like, Neil O'Shea was such a pariah and villain in this market that no matter who replaced him was going to get a nice bump of public support. But when you lied to me as a fan for 2 years about what your intentions were and what you were going to do, when that was never your intention and never your desire, whether that was your call or Jody's, it doesn't matter. You were the messenger. You were the public face. You lied for 2 years about what you were going to do, and your intention all along was to tank, get rid of the contract, draft guys in the top 10, and start this thing over again. Again, that might end up being the right call. We'll see what happens with Dame. We'll see what happens with Scoot and Shaden. You lied to me as a fan. The trust there is gone. So anything you say now, I'm not going to give you the benefit of the doubt. Somebody is texting into what you were pointing out to of, well, it's just messaging. Who cares? It's not relevant.
Messaging.
I know what they're trying to do, and
right.
I could not disagree more with that. And I'm in lockstep with you. The primary reason why it is an issue is one of the reasons that they slowly lost me as a fan this year. Was we all knew, anybody with a rational mind went into the season saying, what's the primary goal?
Lose.
And to develop young guys. Should have been the primary goal all season. You're starting over. There's nothing to be gained from winning, and this is a long-term rebuild project that they'll say is year 1. I'd say is year 3, but let's see what we can do with the young guys in building.
Sure.
The head coach came into the season saying what?
We could be a play-in playoff team while I develop this young talent.
So we're playing Malcolm Brogdon minutes that are taken away from Scoot Henderson when he's not going to be a part of your organization for a long time. This is where the messaging is important. And your goal and your identity and what you're trying to accomplish is important, and making sure everybody is in lockstep within the organization. You cannot tell me that the goal this year was to develop young guys and Joe wanted to see this big sample size of Anthony and Shaden and Scoot playing together, but then the head coach said, I thought we could have been a play-in team, so I'm going to play all my veterans heavy minutes, and I'm not going to allow some of my rookies to play in key minutes or key situations, even if it means more losses. But the long-term goal is to develop your young guys. You have to be on the same page, and it doesn't feel like they're on the same page.
They certainly didn't seem to like each other much, at least from a public standpoint. Not that they said comments about one another, but I think, the result spoke for itself. How often did you guys feel like you listened to a Terry and Neil press conference, no matter how you felt about either one, and you felt like you're getting different messages or different expectations? I don't recall feeling like that.
No, they were pretty much in lockstep with their messaging. How much of it I believed,
Sure. Neil's problem was he blew too much smoke up his butt.
Well,
he inflated what he was doing.
Terry was
But we
veteran,
all laughed at that in the moment.
And
though.
we did.
Terry was veteran and savvy enough not to venture wayward off the path.
I mean, it really didn't get, splintered until the end when Neil tried to tell us the problem was coaching and it was not roster construction. And then he hired a guy who had never been a head coach before, who didn't know what the hell he was doing. And then that led to tanking for 3 straight years.
Yeah, I think that's my other takeaway is he's year 3 and he's like, I've gotten way better than when I was year 1. And I'm just like, you feel, and Matisse had a really good cut of how he communicates with the team because they have people that can't drink and 10-year vets. Those stories are great. He just seems to me like an assistant coach that got a head coaching gig is not ready for it.
Yes.
And maybe, again, it's a weird league. You need things to go right, but you can just as quickly think you're going to be in contention, find yourself being the Detroit Pistons, who are now maybe going to hire Neil Olshey to run their organization.
I saw that yesterday. I did.
They might be so desperate.
Our guy
and
Neil's
down.
back, baby. He's
Neil
back.
is back.
I got a used car for you. Who needs a used car and some hair gel, huh? I got some for you.
The Motor City.
Guys, listen. We're going to be a 54-win team with Cunningham playing power forward.
It's just a little off and odd to me, and you can feel however you feel about this stuff. I think messaging matters and being on the same page matters. John Schneider, Pete Carroll for years. Great example. Rebuilt that thing, won a Super Bowl, damn near won 2, contender almost every year. Same page. You got to be on the same page. If you're not, things get a little squirrely.
Yeah.
And we talked to Keith Smith at 6:30, and he basically was like, I didn't understand what they were doing with those vets and keeping them all past the deadline. And,
screamed that all season.
I assume that they're going to trade. I won't be shocked if Ann asks for a trade.
Which would be great. He should be traded.
Malcolm, I have no read on Malcolm Brogdon. I can't tell if he cares.
You cannot have him on the roster next year.
I don't believe you can, but
you have assets that you can get some. This is all
I'm
about
done guessing what I think this organization should do and is going to do, and I'm just we'll have to wait and see.
We all assume that Robert Williams and Malcolm Brogdon wouldn't make it past the trade deadline, and they're still on Blazer contracts and in Blazer uniforms in April. So I have no clue what's going to happen. What you should do is commit to the direction that you're going.
I think one of them wants to, but the other isn't all the way in.
Then fire the head coach. Like, I don't care what it takes.
They're not going to.
You need to if this is a rebuild, you cannot have these guys on your roster. You know what the Blazers are going to do? I'm going to tell you exactly how this is going to play out.
Okay, hey, jot this down. Let's pull this clip in case he's way wrong.
And for like, what would it be? 14 months from now. Say this from 14 months from now, okay? Okay. The Blazers are going to be in a 3-year tank. Last year, what was there in the NBA draft? A generational talent.
Wemby.
How did he look this year in the NBA?
Oh, generational.
Pretty good. What did we do
God.
right before the All-Star break last year? The Blazer fans were so thankful for. So thankful. It's been a long year. What did we do? We won meaningless games that we had no business winning, that we shouldn't have won. What did it end up costing us? A ping pong ball. How different do you feel if Wemby's on your roster right now? Okay?
Wow.
Let's fast forward. You know what's going to happen this summer? Mark my words. We're going to get the number 1 overall pick. In the worst draft in modern history, we're going to get the number 1 overall pick. In the Anthony Bennett draft, we're going to get the number 1 overall pick. Very excited. This is going to be great. What's next year's draft?
It's supposed to be a really deep generational.
We're going to keep Malcolm Brogdon and Robert Williams around because we got to sell tickets, and let's push for the play-in, and we're going to win 4 games too many, and we'll end up with the number 6 overall pick in that draft. This is exactly how it's going to play out. Mark my words.
They have broken you, haven't they?
I am broken. I am broken. It's going to take a long time to put this back together. Why would anybody have any other mindset than this, though? That's what I can't figure out. What have they done in modern times to give you any inclination of hope as a fan? Give me one thing.
They brought in local restaurants.
They had the one random run to the Western Conference Finals.
They did.
Because they won their last game, even though they tried to purposely lose their last game.
Look, I'll end this on... we'll get to the play-in. I'll end it with this. Yeah, they did get the West Finals. That was the previous regime, though. Yes. And my only thing, you couldn't disagree more with the messaging part. Okay, fine. I am asking, though, sincerely, what have they done to earn trust? And that is an important part of the process.
Yes.
You can say trust the process, but I'm asking why, what have they done to earn your trust? You can think about that all offseason as we move forward and get closer to the lottery.